Hello and welcome back to my channel. Ginika is my name. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing some of the things that surprised me during my one-year research visit in India, Pune to be precise. Some of these things may be related to their culture, while some are just some behavior I observed amongst the people. This was my own experience. Somebody else's experience might be different. This video does not in any way intend to criticize the Indian culture. In case you haven't already, kindly watch my video on my trip to India. The first thing that shocked me was that the only place they thought was Africa is South Africa. If you tell them you're from Nigeria, they will start asking you where is Nigeria in. These people use technology a lot. I just expected they could have just educated themselves by asking Google and not stressing me. The second thing is that they can ask questions. They can ask questions for Africa. They ask me questions like, where are you from almost every day? They ask me questions like, what kind of food do you eat in your country? Where is your country at? What kind of hair is this your hair? Why is your hair texture like this? Can I touch your hair? I made a dreadlock, artificial dreadlock before traveling so that it can last me for at least 5 months, which it did. So seeing the texture of the hair kept on raising question, is this your natural hair? The one that surprised me the most was my lab mate specifically asked me the first week of my resumption that, why is your hair like this? Is it your natural hair? I said, no, I plaited it. I have an artificial extension attached to the hair. She said, how did they do it? Was it engrafted? I didn't know when I busted into laughter because the word engrafted, I was like, well, we are not in agriculture. Why engrafted? Talking about my university, Savitribai Pune University, also known as SPPU, I was shocked to know that the university only admits masters, PhD and postdoctoral research scientists, meaning the bachelor's was a different branch completely at Ferguson College, and these bachelor students, they wear uniform in their colleges. I also experienced that students, they don't greet each other when they come into the lab. You know how you enter your laboratory here in Nigeria and you all exchange pleasantries with anybody you see, like, oh, good morning, how was the night? There, once a student just comes, you walk quietly to your space, sit down and start your work. Also, when your professor is entering, you don't need to greet. The professor enters and you can carry on your business as if nobody entered. This one shocked me. It shocked me because in Nigeria, my professor will enter my lab. I will not stand up and say, Daddy, good morning, sir. It's not possible. Also, the professors do not appreciate it when you come and you are doing that your Nigerian karamo. You want to be helping them to carry their bag to their car or to their two-wheeler. Keep your Nigerian politeness to yourself. Female lecturers can wear sari, their traditional sari attire to class and lecture. Now, why there is nothing bad in wearing your traditional attire? I was shocked because if you know how the sari is, it kind of reveals your stomach a bit, and I find that distracting for me. But it's their culture, they're used to it. They have too many public holidays. In fact, from the very day I stepped into the country, I met a public holiday caused by what? Flooding. They have holiday to celebrate birthday of one great man. They work on Saturdays, which I'm not used to coming from Nigeria. We only go to school Mondays to Fridays, but there, Monday to Saturdays, their official learning day to cover up for the excess days they take for public holiday. They do not joke with their lunch break. You see that if the lunch break in your university is probably between 1 to 2 p.m. for example, once it's 1 to 2 p.m. everybody lock up, as in carry their food and go. Even if they finish eating within 5 minutes, they spend up that lunch break. They don't combine it with anything. They just sit down, relax easily, eat their lunch, just have fun. Their caste system really shocked me. Honestly, I've seen it in their movies and I know that yes, they have a caste system in India, but I just didn't know that it was that deep. This has an advantage actually, to be honest, because in the university, they recognize that if you are from a lower caste, you will get almost free education. Eat their food, chapati. Yes, I know, everybody know that Indians eat chapati. Some refer to it as roti, but I just did not know that they ate it almost every meal. As a matter of fact, chapati is more like the food that combines veg and non-veg. You will definitely see chapati in almost all their meals, at least in Pune. I don't know of other parts of India because I know that the cuisine differs from region to region. Another thing that shocked me is the fact that non-veg for them means food cooked with fish, chicken or egg. Don't bother about beef because they don't eat beef. You know why? You could be denied an accommodation because you are non-veg. So some people are so strict as vegetarian and they don't want to live among people that are non-veg. They even have another group of people that are lacto-vegetarians, a bit different from vegetarians. These people are called the Jains. These ones, they don't eat anything cooked with onions, they don't eat potatoes, they don't eat garlic. And they have their own separate accommodation. Most times, if you don't belong to the Jain, you may not be allowed to live in the same accommodation with them. We had a lab mate then she's a Jain. You know how it is that everybody, when we come for lunch, we just spread our food on the table. You can take this person's food, we just eat together. She does not taste my food, no matter how I say I didn't cook this with onions or whatever because of you. I mean, especially the chapati. Of course, we don't make chapati with onions, right? She will not just taste my own because of that. I used to think Yoruba people in Nigeria, you people know how to eat spicy food, but it's like your own spicy food is learning work where Indian people own is. You know why? Actually, you see that they are green chilli in India, in Pune. So spicy. In fact, sometimes they can serve food and put this green chili raw like that together with garlic and they will be eating it. Their humility shocked me. Now this is what I mean. Your VC, the dean, your professors, anybody, they don't carry this shoulder pad of, don't you know I'm a high ranking official. They can even come sit down on the floor with you, eat with you. They can be rushing for a meeting and see their students moving and maybe going towards their direction and they say, oh, please let me join you in your two-wheeler to get to my destination. They are just simple. One thing I also like about them, because I didn't expect this, is that they are very accommodating to strangers. When they see a stranger, they can just read your expression and automatically they know you need help or you are stranded and they will come over and assist you. You see the rickshaw drivers, especially the locals, those that you do not book on their booking app, maybe you just flag them down on the road. They can want to exploit you because they know you're a foreigner. They kind of have this impression that what did you come out? What are you looking for in our country? For you to be in our country, then that means you are rich. So maybe a ride that should be normal 50 rupees, they can charge you as high as 150 rupees. So this is why I always recommend to make your trip within Pune by booking your trip on the booking app. You can use Ola, you can use Bolt, you can use Uber. There are so many booking apps. I saw lots of foreign students. Now I know that many people like to go to India to go and study because of their good education system, but I just didn't know that. I just didn't know the depth. I met students from Germany, Turkey, so many countries, China, Korea, and we usually celebrate International Day, which is one festival I enjoyed during my stay. Another thing that shocked me was their buses, their luxurious buses that commute, within the local city. It was written in Marathi. Of course, the predominant language spoken in Pune being in Maharashtra is Marathi, but I just couldn't use the bus system. I couldn't understand the numbers and I felt they were not considerate to people that are to foreigners. What we call luxury here in Nigeria is basic to them. This is what I mean. Domestic flights within is very cheap. I could fly from Pune to Delhi with as low as 2,000 rupees. They had a very good train station. Then for their locals, the bus stations was functional and very good. The average Indian had access to internet. Like for example, you use the Jio SIM. Once you just pay your monthly subscription of 500 rupees, you're getting 2 gig daily internet for free. You get access to make calls, send SMS unlimited to fellow subscribers. So it was just good, too good to be true. Basic was basic. You know how in Nigeria, you just walk into the pharmacy and request that give me pregnancy test strip. I want to do a test. The stick that we pee. I couldn't get to buy it in the pharmacy there and I was shocked. After my stressful journey coming into the country, my period was delayed for 11 days. It didn't even occur to me that the delay was due to the stress and my body trying to adjust. I was already scared that, maybe I'm pregnant, and I'm a married woman who is I was sexually active before coming. The only thing that came to my mind was to take a test. I didn't get a strip at the pharmacy. I kept on asking and they were looking at me strangely like, what do you mean? But I want to believe maybe it's because of the location I was in. Most of these things we buy here in Nigeria, they are also imported. They are probably produced in India or China as the case may be. I had to pay this huge sum of money, about more than 5,000 naira in my Nigerian currency, just to go for a blood pregnancy test. You see the word drama and karama and the way they were making pregnancy tests to look like it wasn't necessary for me, because something I would have just peed on a stick here in Nigeria, at the end of the day it turned out negative. They get bored easily. I mean, you could just be working in the lab, doing your normal research, and your lab mate is already tired. So because of this, they usually have team bonding. In fact, they can planning a trip. They like going on trip. For me, if I'm tired, I feel I should rest, right? But for them, if they are tired and they want to eat is to plan a trip. Speaking about their food again, they eat lots of sugar. The sugar they eat. You see, their cake is so sugary, their sweet, and adults eating sweets. For us here in Nigeria, there are some food that when you are like above 30, you start avoiding sugary food, sweets and things like that. But for them, if I giving them sweets is a sign of love, and they appreciate it, they take it regardless of their age. Most of their food seem like snacks to me. Talk about the warapao, they just seem like snacks to me, because they are mostly made by deep frying. Though they don't take soft drinks, in place of soft drink, they take tea a lot. So you might go to an Indian house, or they might be welcoming you in their home and be offering you tea, regardless of how hot the weather is. They don't really take carbonated drinks, they prefer tea. Their tea is popularly known as chai. This one again has to do with the way they pronounce money. So you know how for us in Nigeria we say maybe 1,500 naira when you are trying to give somebody 1,500 naira. For them, they say 1,500. They didn't treat me off balance initially, you will hear 2,000, 2,500, and when the money gets up to like 100,000 naira, they say 1 lakh. You will hear things like lakh and crore. I am not sure I ever heard the use of lakh and crore in my life till I got to India. I knew that they are mostly Hindu worshippers, but I didn't know that they have lots of gods. They had so many, in fact, million crore gods that they worship. And I guess this is also the reason why they have too many holidays. When they are worshiping these gods and it requires holiday, they have to take an holiday. So when you are driving through in Pune, for example, get prepared. You will see so many molded gods, and every god have a name, and they know their names. Also, another thing that surprised me about them is that they can give you things with left hand. Coming from Nigeria, when you use your left hand to give things to people, especially adults, how it is usually frowned at, right? But for them, using their left hand is as good as using their right hand, is a norm for them. You know how they sit during yoga exercise and they fold their legs? I'm aware they sit like that most times, especially when eating as well, because they believe that sitting that way can help or aid digestion. But I didn't know that they can sit like that even in the classroom. When lecturer is teaching, you just on an armchair or something, you just see students all seated in that position with their legs folded. It used to look odd for me. I enjoyed every bit of it. In fact, I integrated into the culture. I enjoyed their tradition. I enjoyed the food. I enjoyed relating and meeting with people. Which of these experiences that I have shared can you relate to? Please kindly share with me in the comment section down below. In case you are not yet subscribed to my channel, please do. Please like my video. You're liking my video, you're commenting on my video will be helping my channel. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.